You know how sometimes the simplest advice feels like it should be, well, more complicated?
Mm-hmm.
Today, for you, we're diving into exactly that with sleep. Our source is pretty straightforward. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep per night.
Right.
Our mission, to understand why this seemingly basic recommendation actually holds so much weight for your well-being.
What's fascinating really is just how consistent that 7 to 9 hour thing is. You see it across, lots of different health sources.
Yeah.
It points to a pretty fundamental biological need, I think, for that amount of rest. Even if, sure, individual needs can vary a little bit.
Okay, that 7 to 9 hour range, it's interesting. What are the key things that might push someone's ideal sleep towards, say, the 7 hour end versus the 9 hour end? It's not just about how tired you feel, right?
Precisely. No,
Yeah.
It's more than that. Factors like your age, how physically active you are, your general health, even like your genetic makeup can influence where you fall in that window, where you'll feel most rested and, function best.
Mm-hmm.
So someone who's really physically active or maybe recovering from being sick, they might genuinely need closer to 9 hours.
Right.
Whereas someone less active, maybe older, might actually thrive on 7.
So, okay, while there's some wiggle room in that 7 to 9 block consistently falling short,
Yeah.
like getting less than 7 hours, what kind of impact does that typically have?
Well, if we look at the bigger picture, your overall health, regularly getting less than that recommended amount can have pretty significant effects. Cognitively, for starters,
How so?
you might notice difficulties with focus, memory consolidation,
Yeah.
your ability to make clear decisions, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we've all experienced that kind of fuzzy feeling after a poor night's sleep, haven't we? But are there longer-term implications beyond just feeling a bit off the next day?
Oh, absolutely. Ongoing sleep deprivation, it can really compromise your immune system, makes you more likely to get sick. And beyond that, research definitely indicates links between not getting enough sleep over time and an increased risk of developing various chronic health issues.
Okay, now, the source also specifically mentions uninterrupted sleep. How critical is that part? I mean, can you get the same benefits from 7 to 9 hours if it's broken up? Waking up a lot.
Yeah, that brings up a really vital point about sleep quality versus just the total amount.
Right.
While getting enough hours is important, definitely the continuous nature of that sleep, that's crucial because your brain cycles through different sleep stages.
Like deep sleep and REM?
Exactly. Deep sleep, for instance, is really key for physical repair, muscle recovery, that kind of stuff. And REM sleep is vital for memory, emotional processing, learning.
Okay.
So frequent interruptions, they could actually stop you from getting enough time in those really restorative stages.
So even if you're technically in bed for, say, 8 hours, if you're constantly waking up, you're not really getting the full benefit. Is that right?
That's pretty much correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Your body and brain, they need those sustained periods of uninterrupted sleep to effectively complete all these essential processes.
Okay, so for you listening, it seems like a core message here is that aiming for that 7 to 9 hour window of uninterrupted sleep. It isn't just like a casual suggestion. It's fundamental for good health. It impacts your thinking and your long-term physical well-being.
Exactly. And if you think about the broader impact, prioritizing your sleep is really, it's an investment in pretty much all other aspects of your life.
How do you mean?
Well, when you're well rested, you're just likely to be more productive, right? Experience better moods, maybe make healthier choices during the day. It all connects.
So what's the practical takeaway here then? It sounds like something we should all be paying, well, closer attention to in our daily routines.
Yeah, I think it encourages you, the listener, to maybe examine your current sleep habits and your environment too.
Like dark room, quiet.
Yeah. Are you creating a space and, just as importantly, a routine that actually promotes uninterrupted sleep? Are you making sleep a real priority in your schedule, or is it the first thing that gets cut when you're busy?
Good point. Well, this has been a concise but really insightful look into this seemingly simple piece of advice about sleep. It seems the real value lies in understanding why aiming for those 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted rest is so darn important.
Precisely. It's a foundational piece of your overall well-being that honestly often gets overlooked in our, fast-paced lives.
So for you, the listener, as you go about your day and evening, maybe take a moment to consider how consistently hitting this 7 to 9 hour sleep range really affects your daily life, your overall sense of well-being.
Yeah.
Just observe. See if you notice any clear differences on days when you get that recommended sleep compared to days when you don't. It might just be the simplest yet maybe the most profound